Aloha, everybody. My name is Jonathan Daly, and this is the inaugural first live of paganpages.org. Welcome, and welcome, Susanna. Yay!
Hi.
So Susanna, I wrote the review for your amazing little book here, and it's basically like a recipe book, is the way I think of it.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little more about how you got into witchcraft and tea? Maybe a little background story.
Sure. A little. I like to call it tea witchery. That's my craft. And
Tea witchery, I love it.
yeah, I would say I got into it probably when I was about 20 years old. Sounds about right, actually. Yeah. Like my journey first started when I was 17, really, when I was working at a metaphysical store. And I was mainly the one in the back room that prepared all the incense and candles and oils for our customers. And it was there where I really got a deep appreciation for herbs and their magical folk remedies and uses. And that's where my passion got sparked, really. I just dove in trying to learn and soak in all the wisdom and knowledge of herbs. And shortly after, I started working at a kind of like an apothecary. Well, she was an acupuncturist. And
that's me.
Oh, really? Oh, look at that. Full circle. Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, she was an acupuncturist, and she also had a big apothecary in the back. She specialized in Chinese medicine. And the
apothecary.
Did you say you miss your apothecary?
Yeah, I had to when we moved to Hawaii. I pretty much had to give up most of my herbs because I was doing house calls, and it was a little too hard to try and like have loose herbs in the car. And right. So I slowly used what I had until I didn't have anything left.
Oh.
Yeah. It's actually what got me into acupuncture school, was getting to do a tour of the school and walking into the herb room and just seeing the jars of herbs all around. And yeah, I'm like, what's that jar of dried seahorses? I gotta come here just to know what that's for.
I know, it's like a whole other world, right?
It really is.
It just clicks, this calling for these herbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounds very similar. And her acupuncture shop was also a tea room. So it was like side by side.
I love that.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was wonderful working there. And while she handled the naturopathy and the acupuncture side aspect, she had another fellow that worked the tea room, and he was a tea master. Basically, he came from a family of tea masters. So he took me under his wing when he saw my love, because I was supposed to apprentice with the acupuncturist, but I kept moving over here to the tea room a lot. You would find me in there mostly. And so he took me under his wing, and he really showed me all of the beautiful benefits, the health benefits, the spiritual benefits of tea. And it completely opened my eyes and my world, because when I started to really look at tea and how it was blended.
Have a little sip.
Yes, cheers. As
I actually mixed two together.
Yes.
I have two different, but we'll talk about that after you're done.
I'm
talking about tea, I'm like, ooh, I want a sip of my tea right now.
It's to soak it in, all that magic.
Right.
But as I got to learn about the tea, I started, I guess, seeing the connections between the herbal incense and powders and ingredients, recipes that you would see at the metaphysical store for among witches and shamans and so on, and seeing it also in the perspective of the tea and how it is taken, and the ceremony in itself, I saw within all of this the ritual and the ceremony, the magic of it all. And from there, I kind of started to incorporate, um, I guess, my own personal practices when serving to clients, that would come in to enjoy a tea and they didn't know what they wanted. And you strike up a conversation like, well, how's your day, and so on, and seeing kind of little things about what they're feeling and what they desire and things like that. And I would go in the back room and prepare a little something and bring it over and give it to them, just like, enjoy.
Mm.
And I would say that that's how really it started, putting together my knowledge of folk magic to tea, you
I
know.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right. Full circle. Because my love of tea, like I already loved tea before I became an acupuncturist, but then when I did my acupuncture schooling, part of the schooling was actually going to China to study the hospitals there. And one
Mm.
of the things they did for us that summer when we went was they also took us to a tea farm
Ah,
where they
mm,
where they went through how they harvest the tea, how they prepare the tea for
mm,
drying and stuff, and then how they prep the tea for us to drink.
mm,
And that was magical in its own right.
mhm.
And then of course, having all the herbal knowledge that I have really helped. I mean, I'm yeah, it's tea bags right now, but I do prefer my loose tea.
It still
Um,
works.
Still works. And truthfully, the reason why I'm not dealing with loose tea right now is because this is my day 10 of COVID. So I just
Mm,
wanted to have some tea to drink.
mhm.
But I mixed this matcha green well tea. It's a green tea, matcha, moringa, and white tea. And I
Oh.
mixed it with a organic honey lemon, which
Oh.
has chamomile, honey bush, lemon verbena, that has actual honey crystals in it, more moringa, and organic lemons. So I need
Oh.
something that'll just help support my whole wellness right now, so I,
Yes.
be good. Oh,
So
and
is
we have
that your intention
Carmen.
right now? Oh.
Yes, exactly. My friend medium Betsy Palmer's here with her dirty chai
Mm.
beside her. Ooh,
Oh,
oh,
nice.
yeah. And hi, Sarah. Welcome. She's got her tea with her too.
Oh, wonderful. Remember to put all your intentions as you drink.
Mhm.
I guess I have right here my aura repair tea. Just,
Okay.
in celebration of Lionsgate, I feel like I need kind of an alignment going and some
Mhm.
clarity and just some overall good vibes with some peppermint, hibiscus, lemongrass, a little bit of rosemary, and some coconut sugar. Just,
Mhm. So, and for those of you who are interested, yes, that recipe is right here in the book.
I decided
So,
to leave out mugwort just today. Like, I still need to do errands.
right, I know. That's the thing. Is like people are like, "Oh, you got to do this whole ritual thing and then like have a whole day of it." I'm like, no. A lot of times you don't have a whole day. You
No,
have like your 10 minutes in the morning or your like 30 minutes at night, and
no.
you just got to squeeze it in. And it
Mhm.
doesn't mean that it's not meaningful or spiritual. It's just you're going with the flow, right?
Exactly. It's magic in the mundane, bringing magic in every little thing around you in your day to day life.
So this book is broken down into chapters here.
Mm.
We got the tea remedies, the moon teas, the horoscope teas, and the sabbat teas. Um, can you talk a little bit more about your potion making?
My potion making. Oh, yes. At the very last bit of the book, you'll see your potion making, which is basically recipes involving alcohol in it.
Mhm.
There are some that would like a little bit of a spice to their drinks, and in a way, potions are the best when it comes down to your rituals and your ceremonies, especially among a group, just
Mhm.
kind of really loosen the energy, but to also empower it. At least that's how I took it when I created the potions and shared them with friends.
Mhm.
But of course, you don't, if you're not big into alcohol, you could definitely leave without it.
Right,
I just included it because I've always felt that alcohol in itself is also magical because of the ingredients within it
right,
and how they're made. You know, hmm like brandy being a real big thing because brandy is often made with different fruits, and those
right.
fruits have also their magical contributions.
Sangria, right?
Yes, exactly. Tequila. Well,
Mhm.
tequila, yeah.
So I have a question for you. For someone who like might want to use alcohol but has like an allergy to a specific alcohol,
Mhm.
how would you suggest they switch out? Like clear for clear, dark for dark, or
Generally, yes.
yeah,
Or just leave it out in
leave it
general.
out?
Um,
Okay.
if you are just allergic to it, just best is to
So
enjoy
for
it.
me, the thing I have to try and avoid is gin. I've My friend tried to get me to drink gin once. I had one drink. I think, what did he call it? The White Lady or something. It was like this mixed drink with gin in it. I'd never
Mhm.
had gin, and I never want gin again. Like, I seriously like 3 sips in. I'm like, why am I getting a headache? And for some
Yeah.
stupid reason, I finished the drink, and it was a bad idea. I had a
Mhm.
horrible headache, and the next morning, I was just like, I didn't even get drunk that night, but that morning, I was just hung over like I've never been in my entire life. And I'm like, I can never drink gin. Obviously, I'm allergic to something in it or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of ingredients in it. So that makes sense.
mhm.
Yeah, I probably would leave without. Yeah, just to be on this.
So would you say like I could replace the gin with like a clear rum or even like a tequila maybe? Or would you just say forget it altogether?
I would probably suggest white syrup.
White syrup. Okay.
Yeah, just because, see, my method of making the recipes involve a balance of energies, basically. Um, like each herb corresponds with its own energy. Um, and because of that, or element, that's what I was thinking. The energy and the elements basically have to have a good balance in order to make a good recipe. Uh, that's just how I've always kind of come about it.
Right.
So the same goes for certain liqueurs, where depending on how they are made, they have that energy within them.
Right. Oh my God, Sarah. Sarah says gin is the most evil liquor. When I drank it, it was my favorite because of the evilness.
I
I
I could understand that. I actually do love gin too. So
love
I'm
that.
like, oh, but I
See, I
understand.
that's the thing. I liked the flavor of the drink. It was good, but like the fact that it instantaneously gave me a headache, and then the next day I don't get hangovers normally.
Yeah, I
And for
feel
me to
that.
be that hungover from one drink, I'm just
Yeah,
like, you know.
that's me with vodka, surprisingly,
Oh wow. Okay.
which is like in
Yeah.
everything, but I'm the same
I
way.
actually I need to avoid vodka now myself because I just recently found out that I have to avoid nightshades. And vodka is made from potato, which is a nightshade.
Mhm.
But the great thing about the book is the last part of it is the correspondences you have.
Mhm.
So if you have an idea of what you want your tea or potion to do, there's ingredients for you in the back listed by purpose, right? So for happiness, you got catnip, cinnamon, feverfew, hawthorn, lavender, majoram, mint, saffron, white tea, thyme, vanilla. I mean, I could take a handful of those and I'd be very happy. Right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And so, would you suggest any other like books to go with your book?
Yes, Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs would
That
be
was the first
really.
thought in my head too.
Yeah, growing like when in the beginning of my whole journey, he was like my Bible. He was right here. He was always in
Mhm.
my bag as I was studying herbs,
Right.
especially when it came down to understanding the energy that they have, the planets that they're associated with, the elements that they're associated with, understanding all of that basically would really be a perfect companion in knowing how to create your own magical tea recipes.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's like number one.
Number one.
Mm.
There's other ones kind of tickling the back of your brain.
Yeah, I think, well,
Well,
no.
when you think of them,
Yeah.
you can announce them. Do you have any
Mhm.
other tips for anyone who's like thinking about starting but feels a little hesitant, just because they don't know what like just grab your book and start playing is what you would say, or
No, actually, yes, another book came to mind. Well, I mean, I guess rather you could find most of these books anywhere if you look them up. If you look up herbology type books that show you the health benefits of certain plants and herbs, as well as the warnings as well from them and how they can contribute to your health. So it's good to know your knowledge when it comes to how certain herbs affect you health wise. So it's good to know basically the magical correspondences, but it's also good to know the health correspondences when it comes to
right,
so
and
that
which ones are actually edible.
yes. For the most part, when it comes to my book, my research has kept it to safe
Mhm.
quantities of the herbs within them. Most of these are all edible, and you can find them in
Easily,
markets.
right,
Yes. Um, and the measurements here are also in safety quantities. But
right.
again, it's important to know firsthand before, like just have this and your encyclopedias and your medical books so that you know which ones.
Proper, right.
Yeah.
And do you have any specific books you look into to look up maybe interactions of herbs?
Uh, it's actually another encyclopedia. I'm trying to remember who it's by, but it's called Herbology Encyclopedia. And oh, I can't remember who it is right now. But oh, oh, wait, I hope I could look it up later. Maybe type it in
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. I mean, if you can always come back and add a
A
comment
nice big
under the
white
video.
book. You can find it also in like in Barnes and Nobles or in Books a Millions.
Yeah.
It has beautiful illustrations in the front of it. It shows like oil droppers and herbs, and it's all white book. But yeah,
Well, no, that helps because look for the herbal encyclopedia that's big and white. Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
And for those of you who are hoping to maybe get this book, we will be doing a giveaway on the Facebook group a week from today. Let me see if I still have that. I posted the link in the description below. I do have the link still, so let me post it in comments. And if you do want a chance of winning the book for yourself, please go to this link. And it describes how to do it in the page itself. But what you're going to do is you're going to go in the comments and you are going to mention what your favorite tea is.
Oh,
And
that
then
was
a week from today, there's going to be a live on the Facebook group where Jennifer and Sarah are going to do a book giveaway for your own copy of the Tea Witches Grimoire.
now this is I've actually looked it up real quick so I can give it to you. This looks like a second edition. It does not look like the one that I originally got, but it is Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine by Andrew Cavalier. Let's see if I can get it here.
Okay. I think
Oh,
I've seen that book. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. I don't have it myself, but I know I've seen it. Most of my book herbal books or Chinese herbal books.
That's good. Quite envious.
Yeah, I have quite the TCM library over there. So not just herbs, but also, points and how food relates as well. Because, food is its own magical thing.
Yes, that is so true. For all y'all kitchen witches.
Right? We love our kitchen witches. Let's see if we need to take the tea bags out of here. Speaking of, it's getting a little strong.
I was just going to say, you like it nice and strong?
Oh, always. I always steep way too long. I've always been told by my teachers, "You steep it too long." I'm like, "But that's how I like it."
Packs a punch.
Go. Perfect. And now,
I love your cup.
thank you. Surprisingly, wait, when did I get that? I think I got this at Ross of all places.
Little Ross.
Was it Ross? No, I can't remember. I've had it for a while now. That's usually my end of summer, fall cup.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up to Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. Are they different heads all around the cup?
Yeah.
Nice. That's cute.
The marigolds and it's just such a fun cup, and it's a nice big mug for warm drinks, which I adore. So, which is funny considering I live in the tropics, but I still love a hot drink, especially in the morning, right?
I am with you on that. I'm out here in the humidity, and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy because I love my hot tea.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the Bedouins always drank hot tea in the desert, and it was to cool themselves down. They drank something hot to cool off. Which we're like, It's like, have you ever heard that phrase, fighting fire with fire?
Yeah, exactly.
What is your top, number one tea of choice?
Ooh, okay. Well, actually, I would say the one that I drink the most and is my favorite in the book is my taro tea.
Oh.
Which has black tea, peppermint, dried cherries, and vanilla bean. Yes, there it is. Yeah.
Just because right below is to ward off negativity, so that's good too.
Yeah. I've always felt that has always been a very broad tea. I mean, on a regular,
amazing. Yeah. Cherries, vanilla, peppermint, and black tea. Oh,
it's so good. It's
once I feel a little better, I think I might have to find myself some dried cherries and a vanilla bean.
Like you could just use the vanilla beans to slightly cut into it and then use it as like a little stir like a little wand, in your cup, just to kind of, strengthen it, make it as strong as you like. If you want to cut the whole thing, you can go in. But anyways, I love that tea because, well, on a regular, I do a lot of tarot readings. So I like to try to get my senses.
Right, you're trying to get your tarot senses plugged in.
But in general, it's also a really relaxing tea. I just love peppermint. It's also one of my favorites. And
black tea helps awaken the senses. So.
Yeah. What's your favorite black or tea? I was going to say black tea.
In general, I'm actually. I've always loved matcha because of the Japanese tea ceremony, which I got to. So when I was in my 20s, I took a chado class where we actually learned the official way of doing it, and our final was to actually have a full chaji, like the full ceremony, and we had the head of the particular school of tea come from Japan to America and teach us, and every day after class, everyone else was gone, and I'm sitting there going, "Teach me more." Every day. And so she turned to my teacher when she was leaving, and she's like, that one, he needs to be the head guest. So when we did the full chaji, I was the head guest, and it was beautiful. It was just absolutely amazing. And I finally got to drink the thick tea, which is like unreal. Like, it's out of this world how amazing that tea is. It's like you're holding the bowl as the tea slowly oozes towards you, and it's just, yeah. And then after the fact, the teacher and the teacher's assistant said that they'd never had a chaji go so smoothly before. And they said it's always because of the head guest, how smooth the ceremony goes. And it's because I think I stayed after every day and just tried to absorb as much as I could from the woman. I don't have it handy, but I have, like, I got her book and she signed it for me. So, like, I have the full ceremony and everything. And that was just amazing. Of course, we didn't end it the way it's supposed to be ended, because it's supposed to be like you go through the whole chaji. It's like the thin tea, the meal, the thick tea, and then it's supposed to be done. Well, it was also the end of the semester, so once everything was done, all of us are in the kimonos, and our teacher, like, pulls out 2 bottles of unfiltered sake. He's like, now the real party starts.
I knew it.
I was already high on the, like, thick tea, and then to, like, start guzzling that, like, unfiltered sake. Yeah, that was a great day. That was a magical day for sure.
I bet. That sounds like such an honor.
Oh, it was amazing. And we were told that it was one of 2 chaji classes in the entire United States. Wow. So I ended up taking quite a few classes at that school that were, like, either like not usually given, or, like, it was rare because only this one teacher was doing it and you couldn't find it anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, like, instead of basic chemistry, I took an alchemy class. So yeah, so I ended that education ended up being very interesting, because I got things that, like, most people don't get that. Like, who gets alchemy in place of chemistry? I was told that I could take the alchemy class and it would take the credits I needed for a chemistry class. I'm like, okay, sign me up.
Which school is this? I'm like, wow, that's.
I went to school at Humboldt State University and got my degree in anthropology. So
That's so awesome. I was this close to deciding to go to Humboldt, but
really?
Just because a friend of mine was going up there, and she told me all about it. It was just sounded so beautiful.
Jennifer wants to know, do you use tea rituals in a lot of your craft work?
Yes. Thank you for asking, Jennifer. I do. I would say that a lot of the time, I have the tea ritual incorporated during my rituals. Like if I'm doing a full moon ritual, which is usually what I do, or my Sabbats, I incorporate my tea ritual within the ritual itself.
Right.
So when you
have Sabbat teas in here too, so
yeah, pretty much those are within those rituals.
Within your Sabbat rituals. Yeah. That's amazing. And do you do the moon teas specifically to the moon? You also have moon teas, so like you're drinking your new moon tea on the new moon.
Yes, exactly. All of those teas are all of the ones that I have always used, basically during new moons, waxy moons, full moons, eclipses.
When do you drink the
horoscope?
Tea of Stars?
Oh, that's when you get your meteor showers.
Oh, okay. I love
the one coming up in this month. That's a perfect example of when to drink that. I don't know about you, but when there's a meteor shower, I I love tapping into that energy of all the shooting stars that go across, you know. Um, I have like a little mini chant prayer that I like to speak of to humble myself, basically, as I sit out there with that tea recipe and meditate, and or if I feel like using a meteor shower's energy to manifest something,
For
then
wishing spells you have, yeah.
yes, exactly.
Mhm. And then the horoscope teas, I assume you're drinking your Leo tea when it's the Leo season,
This would be perfect, yeah, especially today. If you want to
right?
brew that up, yeah.
Oh
When it's
yes, happy Lionsgate. And I totally missed my it's 808 and the 808 on 808, but that's okay.
You can enjoy those teas when it's the new season of each of them, or you can brew it for a fellow friend who is of any of those.
Is a Leo or is a Virgo. Yes.
Yes,
I love
exactly.
that.
Or if you feel like either yourself or a friend is in need of certain qualities of another horoscope
Okay.
sign, then you can serve them that tea. Like, let's say if the Cancer needs the strength of, like, a Leo, let's say, or
Hmm.
the confidence and courage of a Leo, then you serve that person the Leo tea.
The Leo tea. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Mhm.
How often do you incorporate potions into your rituals?
Well, usually by special occasion. When when I first was making those recipes, a lot back then, you know, when I was younger, when I was like 22, 23, 24.
Mhm.
But as I've gotten older and I've become a mother, it's now become more of a special occasion with like special parties, you know, the Sabbats or in ritual with my friends,
Mhm.
other fellow witches, you know, just looking up
So the potions are more for group settings.
groups, yes. Or I mean, you can enjoy it too if you're a solo witch, you
Yeah.
know. And I, it's important to enjoy yourself, but it's also important to cast responsibly.
That's responsibly. I love that.
So it's meant to broaden your wisdom and your energy, not to
Not to
screw.
cloud it.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm. Right. Well, and as they say, it's spirits. So be careful how many spirits you imbibe. Right?
Exactly.
How many
Mm,
spirits you're going to ask to come into you? Because if you ask for too many, you're going to get overwhelmed. Right.
exactly. Hmm.
Jennifer has another question. Do you have tea ceremonies you share with others?
I would say you could find those on my blog, the twitchblog.com. I believe I do have a good number of tea rituals and spells on there. Um, I have occasionally also share it on my Instagram and on my Facebook account.
Okay.
And here recently, I've actually been working on a second book where I will have more recipes, but also ceremonies and rituals and
Oh,
spells. So,
nice.
mhm.
I look forward to your new book.
Me too.
Do you have an idea when that's coming out, or is that still work in progress?
I'm hoping to have it ready either the end of this year or next year. It
Okay.
will depend on my editor.
Oh, no, I get that. So, sip, sip, everyone. If you got your tea.
Cheers.
Mm,
Remember, manifest
wait, wait, wait. Here we go.
intentions.
Cheers.
Clink. Oh, I missed it. Oh, wait, it's this way.
This way. I know it's always backwards. Clink.
Oh.
Mm. This tea, I don't think I've ever mixed the two together, and I really like it.
Nice. A new discovery.
New discovery. Well, they're both Oh no, one's caffeine free, one has caffeine, obviously, but
Which one's the one that has caffeine?
uh, the matcha.
Oh, it's not a
And I
lot.
just realized there's some more ingredients that I missed. So they both also have green robios,
Okay.
dandelion, elderberry, and ginseng,
Mm,
Asian ginseng.
okay.
So,
Well, it's not that much caffeine. If it's matcha, that's
but
about
then, yeah, so it's got the green tea with the matcha and white tea. So it's 3 teas in the matcha. Whereas the other one is a little more calming because it got chamomile. So
there you go. You got your balance.
got my balance going on. I'm all about the balance. I mean,
Yeah. You got a lot of magical properties in that tea.
mhm.
You're going to really have to focus on what you want here.
Well, I want lots of healing because I am so over being sick.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
day 10 today, so technically I'm over my quarantine, but I'm still stuffy. I'm like, I'm done with the mucus. That's why I'm drinking this.
Yes.
Move things. That's my intention, to get things moving so I can get it out, and then I'm done.
Can you taste?
Yeah, I never lost my sense of smell or taste. My husband got it about 3 days before me, and he lost his sense of smell completely.
Oh.
He's starting to get it back, but he's like, luckily, I'm one of those types that has lots of like essential oils. So he's using the bottles to like smell and retrain his
Mhm.
nose. And so by doing that, he's actually helping to force his sense of smell to come back a little quicker.
Mhm.
But yeah, luckily he didn't lose his sense of taste, just a sense of smell.
That's good.
And then I know someone else who lost both, and like 5 months later, still doesn't have them.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
about that too. A few friends.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Yes, I am feeling a lot better than a week ago. Let me tell you, because yeah, that was brutal. The first couple of days of being sick, I just slept basically, which is kind of how I reacted to the vaccine. Was sleeping a lot. So,
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
Actually, a lot of my symptoms are very similar to how I reacted to the vaccine.
Interesting.
Um,
But I'm not really surprised.
no, well, and then I did talk to a nurse when I was getting my booster about like how am I going to react, because the second one, like that second shot, took me out for like 10 days,
Wow.
um, and I was asking about it, and she said that you never know. Someone could like get a shot and have no reaction,
Hmm.
and then the same person gets the same shot like 3 weeks later and has a complete different reaction.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
they say they don't even know how you're going to react from shot to shot, which is kind of scary. So, I mean, my booster, I got a little bit of the symptoms kind of bubbling up, but it wasn't bad. It was gone within about 24 hours, I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did get a second booster because I do have some autoimmune stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, I didn't get anything. I just had a sore shoulder, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Wow.
knows? Yeah,
Hmm.
who knows? That's the thing that's really creepy about it. Is like you don't know, and everyone reacts differently. And each time you get it, you can react a completely different way.
Yeah. And I guess it's a good thing it only lasted 10 days for you. I hope that's because the booster helped lessen it.
Well, that's the new rules now. Is if you test positive, the day you test positive is day 0, and you're supposed to quarantine for 5 days. So it's really about 6 days, and then after that, you're supposed to mask for 5 more days. So for a total of 10 days.
Mm.
Um, I just I decided just to stick with the quarantine for the most of the 10 days. I mean, I still came downstairs and interacted with my family after the first 5,
Mm-hmm.
but I had a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow.
you know, weirdness.
I
So
know. I'm still going about.
people, it's just, at this point, I think we just have to learn to live with it.
Yeah, really. It's
It's
become a
like,
good life.
it's part of life now. It's just, and luckily, if you've either had it or gotten vaccinated, now your body will, like, you'll still react, but you're not going to have to be hospitalized. Hopefully, knock on wood. Right?
Right. Hmm.
Oh, that's so funny. A white egret just landed right when I did that.
Oh, nice. It's like, hello.
Like, oh, okay, that's validation. Thank you.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you want to mention coming up? I know you have your book. Is there anything? Are you having any workshops in your area, or is there anything else you want to mention to anyone that's watching right now or watching the watch back?
Unfortunately, not a lot is going on right now. I'm just pretty much mainly focusing on the new edition. I probably should clarify. It's actually going to be a new edition of this same book, but with
Okay,
far more information into it.
a lot longer. Okay,
Yeah, a lot more. So that basically that's the main focus right now.
okay.
I,
Well,
I
that's a great focus right now.
I would love to have workshops to discuss the practice more broadly. That might be more of a next year thing because I'm actually in the middle of moving and
Oh, yeah.
reestablishing. So, yeah, so a lot going on right now, but yeah.
Have you thought about maybe possibly doing your workshops online even?
Yes.
Mhm.
Mostly,
Okay.
I would say. I would love to be more in person in the area,
Right.
but we'll see. I've moved away, so I'm like in the process of meeting new witches out here, and
Mhm.
I
Do you
am.
change states or just
I changed
towns?
states.
Same states. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I moved across the country, so I used to live
Oh, so
in.
you're starting over basically.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah, I
and
totally feel you.
yeah, I have gotten to know a few new witches out here in my area. So we'll see what they're looking at and explore some more of the metaphysical crystal shops around here and see where their interests lie. So yeah,
Did you
but
find a tea house?
I have found a tea house. There is a
Oh,
beautiful tea room. It's a Victorian home, and I'm
oh
in
wow.
love with it.
Nice.
Yeah, I really talked their ear off when I was there.
I'm sure they
But
loved it.
oh, they did. They're very friendly people there. It was a beautiful place. I was so, well, not impressed, but I was just really over the moon of
Yeah.
their tea selection. I'm like, wow. Anyways, so yeah, so we'll see. They were so kind to actually offer, meetings, events to be held there if I was interested in doing something like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's in the future to consider. But as of right now, if I was to do some workshops, it would be online.
Online. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, keep us informed, or be sure to put them on pegandpegwitches.org Facebook group so people
Oh,
know.
sure.
Yeah. And for those of you who, like I said, who are interested in getting a copy of this first edition, we will be doing a giveaway next week. If you go to the Pagan Pages Facebook group, I did put a link in the chat, and there's also a link down below in the description. Just put in a comment with your favorite tea, and you will be entered to win this amazing little grimoire of recipes. Lots of recipes. And then this correspondences section on the back is invaluable. Like anything you want to throw together, you can figure out how to throw together with the ingredients here. So thank you so much, Susanna. If
Yeah.
anyone in the chat has any more questions, now is a perfect time to throw up your questions. Otherwise, I will be letting Susanna get on with her move or unpacking, I should say, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Are you packing or unpacking at this point?
I actually think they're still in storage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are waiting for our land to go through.
Okay. No, I totally understand that because that's what happened to us when we first moved to Maui. Uh, Not many people know this, but if you move to Hawaii, the islands test you. Your first year here, I've talked to almost, I don't know how many transplants at this point. People who move here are called transplants.
Mhm.
Um, and almost everyone I've ever talked to, their first year here, they were tested. Like they were tested hard. In our case,
Mm,
the house we were supposed to be buying, we had rented this little ohana that was not very nice, just because it was a block away from the house we were about to move into at the end of the month. Well, this is years ago now. Um, and literally, we move in the next day, the whole thing falls through because I guess the house had a mortgage insurance
mhm.
on it. Our bank was okay, their bank was okay, everything was okay, but then the mortgage insurance underwriter said, "No, I don't think we're going to sign off on this deal." And so the whole thing fell apart. And we got trapped in that little ohana that neither one of us wanted
Oh
to be in. I think we
gosh.
spent more time out than we did in.
Mm.
And yeah, at first we were stuck there for about 8 months.
Mm. Oh, goodness.
As we were like desperately trying to find a house because we thought we had a house, we had
Yeah.
found a house, and then suddenly it was yanked out from under us. Um,
So it's like a mental challenge.
right. And I've known people who like they move here and they get the supposed great job that turns into a total nightmare job.
Mm.
Or same thing, they can't find housing or the housing looks amazing and they get in there and it's like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And everyone has this story of like their first year being tested. And by the end of the year, either they're chewed up and spit out or they're finally accepted with open arms. There's
Yeah.
no in between. And now it's been, see, that was 2010 we moved here. And it was 2011 when we finally found that house. And then we adopted in 2013. And then we moved away again in 2016 because everyone was like, oh no, your baby's blonde. You don't want him to be raised there because he'll be bullied. We're like, oh, what? I guess we better move back to the mainland. Oh God, we never should have. Let me take that back. I'm glad we moved because it started a series of events where we ended up in this house where we are now, which I absolutely adore. But it like we moved to the mainland. We're like, no, get us back to Maui. And then when we came back, it was like we didn't have that year of craziness. It was like Maui's like, oh, finally you came back to me.
Right.
Things just kind of fell into place for us. And it was, yeah. And we were living up country for a minute, and then we're just like, man. And then this house just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of manifested itself for us.
Mm.
Best house in the neighborhood. We're in a corner lot. Everyone else has got like these like no yard to speak of, and everyone's houses are on top of each other. But we're in a corner lot, so on one side of us is the HOA park. The
Mm.
other side is a orchard, mango orchard that's like 17 acres of peacocks. And
Wow.
I just found a peacock tail feather that's not an eye feather.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we got lots of cool little birds all the time. We feel like where we are, we feel like we're like out in the middle of the country, but then Safeway is like a 2-minute drive away.
Yeah, oh, that's wonderful.
Right. It just, I mean, I loved our old house too, but this one is just, I don't know, there's something magical about this
It's
house.
home.
It's home. And it's like one of those ones we walked in, we're like, okay, we're never gonna
Yeah.
move from this house.
Maui is it.
So hopefully your trials and tribulations will be over soon. You'll get your land. Then you
Yeah.
can grow your own tea.
Yes. 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 uh, the dreams. Oh, the dreams. Yes.
Yes. Well, fingers crossed, knock on wood, and all the other things.
Mhm.
So I wish you the best with that and getting the move and getting unpacked and just finally having a space. So I
Thank
feel
you.
for you.
Thank
I
you.
totally feel for you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for our first inaugural interview for paganpages.org. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that
Mhm.
little notification bell so you get notified when other lives and videos get posted. And until next time, aloha and
Yeah.
hui hou.